Okay, so good morning. No, thank you. Oh, it's charging.
That masterclass in keeping your cool in front of livestock and just using practical thinking comes from being surrounded by nature and animals all day long. You just sort of get a sixth sense for how best to behave around these creatures. But joking aside, I've not been trained on how to corral cattle, so I'm going to leave that to the professionals and keep myself out of potential harm's way. I didn't want to spook the poor creature. It was just from next door's farm and it had found its way onto our land. This happens sometimes when you live in the countryside. Speaking of the countryside around us, autumn's final flourish is just beginning to fade, and winter really is just around the corner. It was a nice time of year to pop down to London for a quick visit, to see family and friends and soak up the Christmassy atmosphere. In central London, it's all about Christmas right now. And we also got to see some culture and art and stuff. Amazing. So this rainbow over St Martin in the Fields, I thought beautifully echoed this rainbow over our fields. Sadly, no pot of gold. But it's good to be back. I'm feeling Christmassy. I don't need much encouragement. And I make sure now that we keep on top of our log stores being fully stocked, which is helped by this contraption that John made out of an old shopping trolley. And he's welded a wheelbarrow base to it. Don't ask, but it works a treat. Fully stocked log stores all round. Right, time for some Christmas prep.
Right, let's pull these sprouts up. Wow. We just pulled it because we thought it was looking like the plant's dying, so we're going to freeze these for Christmas Day. There's a few. Normally they go all the way up and down. I think that they were, but it looks like they've been eaten. So maybe the culprits are the cabbage butterflies. We need to make sure they're not getting in there. Okay, well, we're learning. Oh, I'm getting quite a few off from around the top here. They're all clustered together. Lots of these little mini slugs on them. Yeah. Look at this little mini one that grew up next to it. They're about normal size. Teeny tiny little snail. Gonna have to put you outside, mate. You're gonna have to go. So, not too bad actually. Until you realise when I zoom out just how small that is. That's a normal sized Brussels. That is a huge Brussels. That's an apple. Yep, biggest I've ever seen. I think I'll be having that on Christmas Day. Thank you very much. I don't think it's even worth cooking, that guy. Okay, we grew a bag of sprouts. So that's them semi sort of prep. They're washed and dried, and I'm going to freeze them within like half an hour of having picked the plant. Any tiny miniature little bugs that are left, obviously these organically grown sprouts have been being munched upon, but we're not going to start spraying our food with anything. So if anyone's got any tips for what to do about pests in your brassicas, I'm willing to listen. But my theory is, because they're going to get frozen, even if there's a little baby one in here somewhere, that will get frozen, and hopefully I'll find it on Christmas Eve when I'm prepping the sprouts. This one's mine. Awesome that we'll all, there's enough for us all to have a massive one or two each. Is that enough sprout content for you, everyone? Or shall I film a bag of sprouts for a bit longer? And it's time to harvest the last of our brassica bed. Well, half of it. I've got to choose which of these likely lads is going to be our Christmas braised red cabbage. We do one every year. I think that one's looking a bit bigger. I'll get in there and I'll see. There is a little miniature one there, but hey, you saw us harvest the sprouts. Got, you know, a bag of them for Christmas dinner. And
You know what? Today, it's the middle of November. We are putting our Christmas decorations up. Of course we are. And so that means making some mulled wine. That means I'm going to do this. Next weekend, if I have a chance, probably going to do Jamie Oliver's Get Ahead Gravy. Because why wouldn't you get prepped for Christmas as soon as you can? Because it's nothing but a joy. Feel free to disagree with me in the comments. Any Scrooges out there? All right, so check it out. These stems are so... I was trying to cut through there, but you can't, even with a sharp knife. So I think it's just a case of... Oh, that snapped though. Okay, well, there we go. I'm sure. Look, the slugs and the caterpillar think it's edible, so why not us? I mean, I decided to harvest them both in the end because I think once I've got all the outer leaves off, they might be fairly small, so between them, they'll definitely do Christmas, and then I'll have some left over for serving from now. And the rest of the Christmas Day stuff will go in the freezer. Oh my goodness, is it possible to be so excited about red cabbage? It's the first time we've grown it. This is the problem, you see. You get so many of these little blighters and they eat through all the layers. So it's not until you get down to these more impenetrable layers that they disappear. So that's why I've harvested both. Still, once you get down there, it's looking normal. So you just start layering up cabbage, onion, apple. Got the spice mix here with some sugar. Get that over. Squeeze of orange. Bit of butter, already prepped. And then you just layer up like that, like a lasagna. And then we have something looking like that. Into a low oven it goes for, oh, I don't know, at least an hour. Give it a mix a couple of times. And next time you see this, it's going to be a deep red Christmas gorgeousness. So, as long as our chest freezer doesn't give up the ghost between now and Christmas Day, our stores are growing. That's sprouts, cabbage, we've got some apple juice in there, I'll be making gravy, the potatoes and carrots still in the ground, so all we'll be buying from the shops will be the meat. This year anyway. Happy Christmas prepping, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you next week on Learning the Good Life.